All right, time to meet your new favorite e-bike. This thing is half pack mule, half rocket ship, but all 100% fun. Meet the Velotric Packer. This thing can hold almost 500 pounds and have fun while you're doing it. So let's go ahead and check out all of the features, benefits, and everything you need to know why this thing is gonna be your new favorite ride. Yeah. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Alex from Motor Life, and this is the Velotric Packer. This thing is actually turning out to be one of my favorite e-bikes that I own. This thing is awesome, right at 750 watt, but 1200 watt peak power, and you can definitely feel that. Now, we have a whole bunch to cover on this one, so instead of just sitting here talking about it, let's hop on and let me just show you what this thing can do. All right, so we checked out the Velotric Go in a separate episode. This is the bigger brother to the Go. This thing holds 440 pound capacity. This thing has an awesome rack in the back. In fact, it has different options. You can switch out the different accessories. So all of the baskets, all of the extra seats, all of the extra passenger stuff like the handlebars, pegs, all of that. So one really cool feature that I actually love about this guy is this built-in safe. It does have a combination lock on it. It is a water resistant safe, so you can throw in the charger, everything you need. In fact, it holds a whole thing, a 6-pack of soda there, which was super convenient when I didn't have my bag. So if you are ready, let's go ahead and talk about some of the main features on this thing as we start get going. So let's go ahead, take it for a spin. I do have to say, I really do like that little kickstand. That little center kickstand is really useful. So let's go ahead and get going here. Let's go ahead and get it up into one. So this thing does have 5 levels of power assist. Number 1 and number 2 are both pretty nice and smooth. Once you hit it up into 3, it really goes here. And that is because, like I said, this thing has a 750 watt motor, but 1200 peak. And I know that because if you go through the information settings on here, you can actually see your power. Now it does have an 8-speed Shimano gear system that is pretty slick. And so far, it definitely does handle on all of the different gravel and terrains that we put it through. All right, the shocks on the front of this thing are awesome. Huge travel. It does have nice hydraulic shocks, which is great because especially carrying all this extra weight, definitely gonna need some extra beefy shocks, which is great on the front. So this one is unique because it does have a 26-inch on the front and a 20-inch on the back to support all of that weight, which is extremely useful when you're adding extra riders and extra weight on the back. All right, so this thing has a 48-volt UL certified battery with almost 15 amp hour life on it, which is awesome, which you're definitely gonna need with this 750 watt. So like I said, it does cruise right about 1200 watts, which I can see on the display right here. I definitely tell you, in option 5, this thing definitely screams all the way up. So stock goes right about 20 miles an hour, so you can unlock it to 25 miles an hour in the settings. So besides being an absolute mule, this thing is an absolute rocket ship. All right, so in a lot of Velotric's new options, they have the Apple Find My, which is super nice to be able to look on your phone and to see exactly where your bike is. So that is definitely a huge plus on this one. Now this one definitely does have some beefy brakes, some 4-piston hydraulic 180 millimeter brakes on this thing. Definitely gets it stopping, and you're gonna need it with all that extra weight. All right, so with that awesome, huge, nice quality battery, you do get almost 50 miles on a single charge, especially in the eco mode here, which you can see we are all the way out in the country, and this thing definitely can make it here. With that 440 pound payload capacity, you can definitely load the entire campsite in the back of this thing, or if you're gonna be hauling, you know, Uber Eats, or you're gonna be doing things like that, hauling parts back and forth, the extra large basket option, super good for this because you can load that thing up, strap it in, you're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and just take it on a little ride back here. You can definitely feel that power. In number 4, we are up to 20 miles an hour. All right, I do want to say that the pedals are actually super low on this one, and I think it's because it has that 20 inch in the rear. I do actually keep hitting the ground when I hit turns, so that is something that I do want to mention, that the pedals are super low to the ground. But I tell you, the torque of this e-bike definitely gets me in, up, and around all of these hills here. Nice. We can open her up here. This thing is handling like a champ. Yes. Kick this up a notch. All right. All right, so you can definitely see that the Velotric Packer is an absolute blast out there. Has more than enough power to get me up over all those hills, and the shocks on the front can take all of those bumps with relative ease, which is super nice. So let's go over definitely some pros and some cons that I found out about. All right, so a couple of the main features that we really enjoyed is that power. That 750 watt power definitely feels a whole lot more, especially when unlocked. Gets you all the way up to that 25 miles an hour in an instant. So definitely part rocket ship. That 440-pound payload definitely turns this thing into a pack mule. So definitely part horse. And the fact that you have this awesome built-in safe here is super cool. All right, so that awesome power, that awesome screen, the H75 drive system, all of those awesome features make this thing an absolute beast out there on the trail and on the road. A couple things we did notice while we were riding is the actual pedal height here. The pedal's super low, and I think that is because of the 20-inch back tire. I will have to say I did hit the ground a couple of times when turning, so keep that in mind. All right, so you can see how all of those awesome features definitely make this one of the top rated e-bikes of 2023. That power to get you up those hills, that payload capacity, the awesome cubby hole. I'm telling you, this thing is definitely just a good mix of all around fun. Definitely 2 thumbs up in my book here for the Velotric Packer. So make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know that you're here, and we will see you guys on the next episode. So deuces.